What is up, ladies and gentlemen? As always, Chris and Sarah with our guest Daryl Lazer here today.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I just I got confused. We moved seats around. We were playing with audio.
Right.
Everybody's in the wrong spots. I'm kind of.
I cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's pretty much. That is literally how we jump into stuff.
Wait, and that's a good question because how does one talk about the phenomenon in these days of new? Where back in the days of old, you would come up to a stoplight, everybody would get out of the car, move a direction, and jump back in different spots. But we can't call it
Chinese fire drill?
We can't call it that anymore, can we?
The fuck we can't.
No. I don't know. I would imagine that it's gone the same way. Run! Anyway, so yes, we had a Chinese fire drill.
Every Marine is a rifleman.
When you're getting shot.
We should have moved one more time because Daryl and I have had every chair in the room. You've only had two of the chairs.
See,
in the room.
what I'm hearing is you both are indiscriminate.
Absolutely.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I won't stop a party.
I was like, wow. I've seen you at parties, Daryl, and I agree with your assessment. Yes.
Right? But this is not that show.
So we're gonna come back to how this podcast came to be, but I did want to mention, you and I, while working together, talked about and nerded out. I've been talking about creating a podcast forever, and you're like, oh, dude, yeah, you should totally do it. Like, I've got one. It's called Dimes in the Dozen. Like, you should check it out. And you guys have been going now for what, 5-7 years?
Going on 8.
8?
Dang.
8. But it's still called Dimes in the Dozen. We have had a few rebrands, but we've kept the Dimes in the Dozen name because we realized nobody else had it.
This is ours.
And it's such a good play on words because it comes from, you're a dime,
Yes.
but also you're dime a dozen. You are a people. When people say, oh, I hate people, you realize you're a people too, right?
Yeah. Do you look in the mirror?
Everybody is fucking people. So you are a dime in the dozen. The best thing you can do is be aggressively average and necessarily unique.
Whoa, roll that back. Say it again.
Aggressively average and necessarily unique. You
So
are a human.
only stand out as much as you have to make a difference.
Not only stand out as much as you have to. Mm-hmm. You are a human being.
Of course.
So you have...
There's only one of you.
The only thing in the human condition that is possible to have in common is the human experience. You are a part of it. You are a people.
Yeah.
You are average because of your existence. Now live your existence.
Right. And recognize that you're also one in a trillion, billion, gazillion.
Well, yeah, of all the people that have ever been.
And nobody else will ever live your exact life.
Exactly.
That makes you simultaneously the most massive thing
right.
ever.
And the most tiny.
And the tiniest.
Right.
At the same time.
Macro to micro.
You're a dime in the dozen, so we are dimes in the dozen.
It's almost like we live in a quantum universe.
I was just going to say, you queued that up. I'm like, Sarah's about to quantum nerd out on us. It's going to happen.
Let's go.
Right.
Oh my God, have you heard the, what is it? Quantum mechanics.
And the human mind?
Oh, the new book?
No. So Neil deGrasse Tyson did a thing on Star Talk with the Brian, his name.
See, if we had a Jamie, we could have somebody.
Need a Jamie on this podcast.
Yeah.
To just look everything up to be that's better.
So me and Sam have our laptops in front of us. So I'm like, ChatGPT, who the fuck is this motherfucker?
Oh, of course, my phone's up here recording video.
Right.
He was talking about how the newest theory is that, quantum entanglement, right? That is faster than light communication.
Mm-hmm. It has to be if you have partnered.
Theory, the working theory right now is that quantum entanglement is the fabric
that creates.
It's the universe. So wormholes.
The dark matter.
Quantum entanglement is the wormhole, not the dark matter. Mm. The entanglement is the thread that stitches everything together.
And if it's moving at beyond the speed of light, a whole lot of
not
weird stuff we
explaining
can't.
this well.
Right?
As I understand, not many people can.
Yeah, no, there's 2 people.
Yeah, as it turns out.
And those guys are not in my phone book.
But again, not why we're here.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we keep getting off. So, podcast, Dimes in the Dozen.
Yeah.
That's definitely, so it's the two of you, you and your buddy Sam, who we had the pleasure of
Sammy
meeting.
Ray.
He's awesome. So you guys just kind of like approach like everything, pop culture, politics, like kind of struck me. Like I've listened to 5 or 6 episodes. It's all over the board. I love it. It's just like jump in and see what's going on. It's almost like a newscast of some sort. Like here's some stuff relevant to you in the world today.
Yeah, to an extent, that's a good way to put it. And like we have kind of offshot. So now we're like, I don't want to confuse people, but we are still Dimes in the Dozen. That's where you find us. But our show now is Bird and the Bear, presented by Dimes in the Dozen. So we're still Dimes in the Dozen, but that'll make sense once you start listening. If you start listening, you better start listening.
Like and subscribe.
We talk about what's relevant to us at any given moment. And sometimes what's relevant to us is music. Sometimes it's pop culture. Sometimes it's politics. These days it's politics.
You mean there's reason to talk about that now?
I'm so over it already. I'm so tired.
I feel you. I was talking to Sam the other day about how the Obama administration made me apathetic. The Trump administration made me atrophy.
Intellectually?
Emotionally, intellectually.
Yeah.
I stopped. I went, my political muscles are fucking weak.
Yeah.
Like, I'll catch it when it's important to me in a moment.
Dude, we've been in a downhill sprint for like, I don't know, 8 years. It's exhausting. I'm so tired of it.
I've tried on something magical that pisses a lot of people off, but it's that stupid mic stand is just a jerk. Oh no, it's the ball up top. You gotta.
Yeah. The ball up top.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Look me in the eyes and talk about the ball up top. Yeah.
Blink 3 times if you need help.
I tuned out of news. I tuned out of like whether it be on TV, online. I don't know. Tighten that sucker up.
I got it.
I got it. Got rid of everything related to that. Don't read the news. Don't pay attention. Like
You can't help but
if
do
it's
it.
not outside of 20 miles of where you're at, what are you doing about it? And tuned it out intentionally for a while, and holy shit, my quality of life improved so much.
A lot.
Dude, it's like when I talk to people about, dietary stuff, like, hey, you put a bunch of shit into your body and you're surprised that it outwardly reflects the way you're treating it. Well, it's the same thing with media. What you consume is going to create your existence. So, trash in, trash out.
Absolutely, exactly. And so I've been trying to implement a policy, and it's really hard because cell phones have changed the way that we communicate.
Boy, howdy.
But just because I have this thing in my hand does not mean that you have a direct access to my brain at any given point in time.
Why didn't you respond, Daryl?
Because
I was busy.
I was busy not doing that.
Yeah, and I don't care if busy is me sitting watching TV, playing. It's whatever I want to do in the moment.
Yeah.
I will respond to you in business hours.
Right. Well, and
If I feel like it.
this is
Yeah.
something that I think is really important in the world right now is boundaries, right? And there's always been there, but you're talking about that. It's being able to set and keep clear boundaries, healthy boundaries, right? So if you're interested in watching the news or not, like I'll tell you, I do not know a single person who watches cable network news or any sort of internet news
Know your enemy.
in great amounts who is a deeply happy person.
Happy or positive.
Oh, that's where you were going. Yeah, I'm not a deeply happy person.
That was early to call it out.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
I was like, I did. Man, just
You made my point forward.
backfired.
I know, right? So I feel like, this is one of those defining moments of like what you want to put your energy into. What wolf are you interested in feeding?
Yeah. So I want to jump subjects on you.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole reason this specific podcast today happened out of the blue at your birthday party of all things. I don't know what it is about you. Like, we haven't spent tons of time together, but every time I'm around you, you know, we go on these random journeys of conversation.
Yeah.
And somewhere out of left field, you crack me right in the jaw with something that just makes me go, huh.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Either I was saying something dumb, I was doing something dumb, or something that I just never considered. And for the folks that haven't listened to the podcast a ton, this one is predominantly about, you know, we aim at making people better. Health, wellness, spirituality, mental, whatever it is. And you brought up a topic that made my asshole clench. I didn't like it at all. It was a fucking terrible idea. And then equally realized that it's an incredibly important conversation that I don't think is had a lot. And I don't remember exactly how you said it, but something of like, let's sit down.
I'll say it.
Oh, hit it. Yes, please.
How's your relationship with your father?
That was your question. You hit people out left. You're like, how is your relationship? Like, and he did this to me. Like, we're just talking about something, and then he comes out with that, and I'm like,
Well, because how it comes up, it has to come up out of left field, but it has to come up like somebody will say something, and it's like, that's rooted somewhere.
yeah,
How's your relationship with your father?
it's fucking rude.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I want to know.
Yeah,
Because I'm exploring my relationship with my father. And I know I'm not doing it right. I'm doing my best.
Wait, who says you're not doing it right?
Not my last name.
I mean, there is no wrong way to do it.
There's no wrong way to do it. You're correct. There's no right way to do it. My therapist said one time, like, your best is what you are capable of giving in any given moment. So what you are doing right now is your best.
Right. And that, to that point, has brought a lot of peace over the years if you recognize that people are literally doing the best that they can. Like, even when you don't think they should be, like, even if you don't understand why they are at the level they are, like, people do what they can do. And if they can't, there's a reason. And
It's
if you
not their
can,
fault.
no, and if you can have peace with that for yourself and for other people, then it makes life a whole lot nicer.
Well, it's not their fault unless they actively know that it's a problem and are saying, I don't care about that.
I mean, there are some assholes in this world, let's be honest.
Tons.
So I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
there's no culpability.
Culpability. I was looking for that word earlier and I couldn't find it. Thank you for bringing it back up.
You're welcome. I'm a word nerd.
Me too. That was positively pokertudinous.
There you go.
damn, son, that's a new one for me. What was that?
Pokertudinous?
I've never heard this word across.
Pokertudinous is the state of embodying beauty.
I fucking love it.
It's amazing.
Like Polk,
my-
like POLK or
P-U-L, pull.
Okay.
P-U-L.
Yep.
C-H-R-I. Pull.
Oh, okay.
Tudinous.
T-U-D.
I-N-O-U-S.
In us.
Pokertudinous, yeah.
It's not in all of us, just in some of
It's
us.
an ugly word with a beautiful meaning.
Right? It's like onomatopoeia. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I know. It's a fun one.
I growl a lot.
You do.
What is this guy?
Rodcast is going to have fun with
I
this.
follow this dude on Instagram. You have like, I swear to God, I need to like. I'm probably
Oh,
gonna dub-
Adonis.
Yeah.
No.
No, not Adonis.
Oh, that's more like,
The guy who always has got his phone up and he's just got the one eye and he's like reporting on something and
Oh.
he talks shit about it. Your voice, like, you're the same person. Like, I'm gonna put clips into this show just so people can hear the voice comparison.
right.
I'll have to find him.
What were we were talking
Fathers.
about?
Relationship with father.
Not.
But
the
we got
relationship with the father
pulchritudinous
yet. We were
first.
talking about how the question comes up.
Yeah. Which is important because you don't want to like, hey, I'm going to ask you something that might make you feel uncomfortable and odd.
You gotta.
Yeah. And you did. You cracked me like just like right in the jaw. I was like, whoa. Okay, I got to take a second and think about this.
I've done it enough times and it's worked, and I've made enough friends based upon its viability that I know men do not get asked. People, not even, let me back up. People do not get asked enough about how their relationship with their fathers are. everybody can talk about their mom. Not many people can talk about their dad.
Yeah. And usually when they do, it's
Bad.
at best.
At best.
Yeah.
At best.
Well, now, do you think that is mainly...
It's also a fucking ridiculous generalization.
Societal norms.
yes, obviously.
Yeah,
but if you think about, it's either a lack of delivery or a lack of understood expectations. So is it that kids just expect a lot from their fathers that they don't get, or is it that fathers in general suck at delivering for their kids? Or is it some
I don't think it's
mixture
suck at
of both?
delivering. I think it's suck at realizing that connection is okay.
Sucking at emotions.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and it's trained. It's
Passed
100%
down
trained.
generation to generation.
Oh, it is.
The reason I started asking this question is because I realized that my relationship with my father sucked, and I had to fucking go, no, Dad, I fucking love you. You're gonna hug me, you piece of shit.
We're doing this. Embrace it.
And we're gonna do it until you get comfortable with it.
Shit.
And now, like, because I did that, and I did it so just relentlessly, my dad tells me he loves me every time I see him, and he hugs me every time I see him. And I've heard things about my dad's life that it took me 30 years to hear. He was never going to tell me shit. He wasn't going to. He was built to defend and not, like, he lost a lot in his life. He lost his identity. He lost his family. We'll talk about that later. He lost his position in the family as a protector. He lost everything.
Ugh.
It got to the... I know how he feels. People don't deserve my heart.
Not right out of the gate, no.
No, not even out of the gate at all. And my relationship, the change in my relationship with my dad has changed my dad's relationship with other people. And I've watched it happen.
That's awesome, by the way. When you offer somebody an emotional awakening and then you start to watch it.
You see it happen.
Blossom.
Yes.
It is.
Vulnerability is like a terrible thing, supposedly, I think, taught to the older generation of men. Like, it is not considered an attractive or virtuous attribute.
Well, so it was like the boomers.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Which is a fucking philosophical. No.
Never mind the fact it's an impossibility. You cannot pick yourself up.
Work that way.
You cannot double jump in real life, okay? Just because you can do it in Halo doesn't mean you can fucking double jump in real life.
Shout out to your company there.
What was it?
She works on Halo.
Really?
Shh, don't tell.
Nobody knows anything
About what?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Totally big secret now.
I don't know. Something about microphones just makes everything
Dude, you got a
sexual.
great voice for it. It's beautiful.
Right?
You gotta have range.
He's doing his radio voice.
Yeah.
Well, no. So there's this voice. There's the I'm talking about something serious, and then there's the I'm talking about something serious.
The second one's good.
I was going to say, I think the second one might evoke some emotions and feelings.
Right?
What's happening, Mama? How you?
On behalf of all people out there.
Let me holler at you. What panties you got? You change detergents.
You already know that. That she's changed detergent.
That means I've been sneaking.
What the hell were we talking about?
We were talking about dads.
Right? Exactly.
Well, I was talking. I wanted to let you guys jump in. I can just sit here and riff on this topic for a while, but I don't want to dominate the conversation.
Well, no, it's interesting, and it'll be fun to have Sarah here to talk about this as well. Just because originally when I thought about this, it's two men talking about relationships with fathers, and I can dig into my own experiences as well. But turns out relationships with fathers have huge impact on women, whether they're absentee fathers or
If you're a human, you have a relationship with somebody that is
parent.
labeled father.
yeah, exactly.
Well, father, dad, whatever you want to call it.
Ish.
Yeah, ish.
It's really fascinating to see how brilliant or terrible the way a parent works with their child, like how that blossoms later in life, with kids. Almost exclusively when I run into a man who has anger issues, drinking problems, this, that, like you said, all of it, it has an origin story. You can go back and, the emotional range of men is so muted at this point in time. It's
anger and sadness.
yeah, those are the only negative emotions.
That's the
that's
emotions,
it.
period. Anger and sadness.
Well, and
You're so happy that you're angry, or you're so happy that you're sad, or you're so sad that you're angry, or you're so angry that you're sad.
It's just
goodness.
the triangle of shit.
Well, and I had not known until we started talking about these types of things that he is capable of just turning off those emotions, like the ones that he doesn't like. And it is fascinating to learn about because I didn't know, and coming from a completely different paradigm, like I feel all of it all the time.
Which, by
and
the
so
way,
the idea that you cannot is just insane.
It's obnoxious. You've helped me, you and therapists and men's groups and talking with men like you, Daryl, has allowed me to explore a much wider range of emotions. Mm-hmm. And as part of that, one, I've pretty well lost my ability to shut it off. And two, all of a sudden, I'm a 45-year-old man with a lot of emotional baggage and bullshit. And all of a sudden, it's real loud and I can't turn it off. And some days, like earlier this week, dude, I just couldn't function. Like, I just was unhappy and sad and pissed off at the world and everything. And and the thing was,
Do you feel like you always have to be a protector?
Mm-hmm.
I do. There's the on thing, which by the way, I had my first ayahuasca experience, I don't know, a year and a half ago. And that was
I haven't done one of those yet.
The whole thing. And it hits hard.
And where do you think the protector thing came from?
Oh, from my father, for sure.
Exactly.
So my dad was like law enforcement and military, so just iron fist type stuff.
Before we get to your dad,
just
describe to me if you can, because this is a thing that I'm going through right now. I don't know. I know where my protector thing came from, but I don't recognize where the protector thing manifests.
Like in your day-to-day life, you don't see?
I do it without noticing.
Oh.
Which side of the street? When you're walking, do you walk street side?
When I'm walking, I walk I can see cars coming at me.
You and Sarah are walking.
Yep. Oh,
Do you walk next to the road?
It depends.
It depends. Sometimes I'm on the outside, sometimes on the inside. Historically, I would always guard a woman.
Does it make you uncomfortable if you're on the inside?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, no, it's like, I see it. Like when I do it, sometimes I'll do it intentionally because she's wandering around. I'm like, hey, baby, like I'll just go on the inside. And then I'm like,
I get hit by cars all the time when I'm out in the world. All the time. Like it's a regular occurrence. I have never not gone out on a walk and gotten hit by a car.
That's why.
But you're right.
Obviously.
Always there.
Because even when I'm out by myself, he's there with me making
It's
sure.
because since I'm worrying about it, she doesn't get hit by the car.
Obviously.
That's how it works.
Yes.
Quantum entanglement, all that stuff.
So another question that I have, because I kind of have a story about when I realized, I was like, oh, that's a reflex I don't have control over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are the things that are non-negotiables? You will ask no questions if you see somebody interacting with your wife. Like you're just, nope.
What are the
Like, what do you see that makes the difference?
So like,
when am I going to snap?
Let's say you're across the room.
Yep.
Sarah's over here interacting with somebody.
Yep.
And then you see like a change in character, like a lean over or like what is the thing that makes you go, absolutely fucking not?
Two separate things.
I'm not asking questions. I'm kicking dicks.
I love how you think it would take him to do it before like somebody.
Well, no, I don't think it would take him to do it, but it's the
mechanism.
There's a mechanism.
Oh, 100%.
There somewhere.
Yep.
So
Trust me,
Exactly.
I know you bad. Don't fuck around.
her energy is the first thing.
Yeah.
I'm always going to keep an eye on her. And like, if we have such great, like across the room, I can see I'm uncomfortable. I'm tired. I'm ready to go. Like this guy's creeping me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I'm uncomfortable. So if I get that, there's going to be some range of response from coming in, interjecting to being a violent asshole.
Yeah.
Or, someone putting hands on her and not, you can feel the language. If somebody comes up and like grabs her by the shoulder, like, nope, we're not doing that. Fuck that.
That's a no question. Regardless, that's a no question asked situation.
Yes. I tend to lean into her body language the most. And it does come down to the fact that she is just a hyper capable human being. I've dated teeny, wafy little women, and I was much more susceptible to feeling that protector stuff with them in it. To look at it was just, I didn't think they were particularly capable to take care of themselves in that situation.
And you tried to do it to me a little bit when we started, but
you trained that out of me pretty quickly.
I mean,
Come here, I got you.
right? Exactly.
I could protect you.
Exactly.
She's like, I've been protecting
Like, do it when I want you to do it, not when I.
photograph.
Every time I make me laugh.
Yeah, it is. It's actually interesting. That's a great question, though, because all human beings, we've all got the switch where we're going to flip. I guess I've never really spent the time. It's usually threat of physical violence is my big. I'm getting in the middle of this now, and I'm not going to be nice about it.
The reason I asked this question is I recently failed at this analysis.
Ooh.
Or you took an experiment to its conclusion and learned from
Learning.
it. You didn't fail.
Let me describe the situation.
Okay. I'll tell you what, you describe the situation and I'll show you a positive light.
Okay. I agree with that.
I can find the silver lining in a mushroom cloud.
So now I'll do this. I'll give the beginning. Mm-hmm. I'll give the situation. And then as we start to branch out, I'll give the details that I found out later.
Okay.
So the situation was, I'm standing in my kitchen. This is my birthday, the sunrise set. You guys were over, you guys taking off. We're deep now.
The party was going solid when we left.
And I'm standing at the sink. I'm washing some dishes. My partner is over across the island talking to this dude that was super cool. That I hit it off with him and his partner so much, and I fucked it up because of this. I saw this tall ass dude that I didn't calculate the fact that this guy was like 6'4". My partner was like 5'8", 5'7".
Head underneath.
So him going, hey, I didn't hear what you said, looked like, come here.
Oh, oops.
So he leaned over her. Mm-hmm. And I ran up behind him and I didn't hit him. I just grabbed him, choked him up on his elbows. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He was like, are you holding me right now?
At least he was cool with it.
He wasn't cool with it. He was like, are you still holding me? And I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh,
I like doubled
you
down.
had the energy, yep.
And then he was like, and I was like, oh, I am still holding you.
Oh, yeah.
I read that wrong.
Time to
Oh
like.
my God.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. Turns out he had heard me and my partner kind of bickering in my room from the other room. He was trying to make sure she was okay. And he didn't hear what she said, so he leaned down, and I'm standing there, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this figure leaning over my partner, who I have told before, I will never let somebody stand over you. I don't like people standing over me. I'll be goddamned if somebody stands over you. Bang! I read this wrong. Oops. My bad.
Sorry.
Yeah. And it's a mistake, and I hope I get to hang out with those guys again. But it changed the tone. They left fast. I did.
Oh, damn.
Before they left, I went and found the dude, and I was like, "Hey, look me in the eyes. I read that wrong. Shake my hand. I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I understand if you don't want to see me again and if this fucked up everything, but I need to look you in the eyes and apologize. Man to man. I am sorry. Thank you for coming.
And how did you take it?
Bad. Because it wasn't the right thing. Everybody was fucked up. Mm-hmm. Like, he was on shrooms. Like, there was substance.
And I was gonna. I didn't want to like dive right into that, but I am curious. I have been now that you've mentioned it, and I'm looking for examples of it. I can think of 2 or 3 examples that have been in your experience where you've flared to a point that I thought was unnecessary for the situation, but
2 or 3 examples. Okay, go on. I'm forgetting. Give me the files.
There was a time we were on a trip.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that one. There was also substances involved.
Is this Vegas?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not that Vegas.
This is Puerto Rico.
By the way,
It's not Rich Rico for a reason.
And then actually at that same birthday party, you legitimately like cracked me in the mouth, like slapped me.
Did I slap you?
You 100%. You have a way of getting excited. And the cool thing is, like, I know you, and
I do it too.
And it's not
partner.
It's not a.
Got the pin.
It's not an aggressive, violent type thing, but it was fucking jarring.
It gets your attention.
A grown man just hit me in the face, and it is that instant.
How's your relationship with your father?
No, if you had done that, that would have been fucking hysterical. That would have been amazing.
Who's asking?
I had just seen you partake in party favors ahead of time, so I was like, yeah. And I know me, especially recently, my relationship with alcohol has been more tumultuous as I've gotten older.
It's a villain in my life.
Oh, dude, 100%.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to drink here.
No,
I'm still going to
sure.
have no. But go on. Sorry.
I did notice though, like I was always a happy drunk, and then somewhere in I think my early 30s, a switch flipped, and I started recognizing that I was the asshole in the room.
Yeah.
Like I would jump to conclusions. I would be overly aggressive about things, and like you, dude, that's not how I want to occur. Like the only time I want to occur like that is when legitimately a situation is weird and it's about to get messy. And I'm asserting dominance. Outside of that, I always want people to just feel like loves and puppies and hugs with me around.
See, and that's why I really, and who knows if it is actually going to work or not, but I love the approach that I have right now, which is, we've talked about this before. He and I are both very capable people. We know how to do a lot of things
Absolutely.
pretty well. And we also know that he and I together will do our very level best to make sure that the most amount of people in our general vicinity are taken care of if shit ever goes down. So if there's ever a problem, we're going to do our level best to take care of stuff. If you really believe that,
level best to me.
just think like
I want to make sure that I'm thinking the same thing that you're saying.
zombie apocalypse. Right? We're going to have food. We're going to have a way to take care of it. Like we will try and, instead of hiding away in a hole somewhere, we're going to try and help people survive. Right? Because that's what we do.
What is the level addition to
just to say, we're going to bring 100% of what we have to that endeavor.
I don't want to distract. I know what you mean, but I don't understand the level best phrase, because like your level best is what you're doing right now.
Maybe I'm using that
Just
term. Yes, we're going to do the best that we can to help people.
Or maybe I'm thinking about the term.
Absolute.
I could
absolute
be
best.
absolutely wrong.
Absolute best. We're going to do our absolute best. Like shit's
Yes.
weird. We're doing 100%. We're going for the gold to do everything we can to like take care of everybody and ourselves.
You're going to do everything now so that you can be the best person in a crisis that you possibly can.
No. So in a hypothetical crisis,
Yeah.
in a hypothetical situation, we're going to show up.
What about a sober hypothetical situation?
That's why Shannon used level best, because that would be a different kind of best.
Exactly.
Get on my level.
On level best.
There you go.
Loop it around.
But the point is that you only need vigilance if you don't think that you're going to be able to show up well when the rubber hits the road, right? And if you and I look at each other as partners and we say, I know unequivocally that I'm going to do the best that I can when I get there. So I don't need to think about it now necessarily in order for me to perform later. Now there's an argument for visualizing success and what that can do for you, but do you really want to spend your time trying to visualize success and all of these different harebrained possibilities that you're trying to prepare
That's
for?
my fucking hobby.
I know. Does it make you happy?
Welcome to ADD
No, it
land.
doesn't.
Exactly.
It's goddamn irritated.
I would rather have a hobby that makes me happy.
And so that's actually a really good analysis of, like, what'd you say? You only have to. It was what, perform vigilance or be vigilant? You only have to be vigilant is what you said. I think it was.
No, I said you don't have to be vigilant if you know that you're going to bring your best.
That's what. You
Yeah.
don't have to be vigilant if you know that you're going to bring your best.
Right.
And that's why I think those moments of white knight guardianship come from a place of deep insecurity. Mm-hmm. I know my partner's capable.
No, I mean, yes, absolutely. No, and that was one of the things that came up for me when you mentioned that you went and apologized to this person that was in your home who you put hands on, but did you offer that apology to your partner in that situation to say, hey, I'm sorry I thought so
I did.
little of you?
I didn't say it like that. I didn't say it like that.
No, I know, but that is what you're saying.
I said it from my perspective.
Okay.
And I hadn't thought of that until you brought it up right now.
Yeah. So like those moments where he's trying to keep me from getting hit by a car on the road, I walk there and I go, wow, I do this every day by myself and I seem to manage just fine.
My therapist said, stop solving for people.
Yeah. They don't need it. They don't want it. And apparently even at wineries.
There's a story there.
Go on.
Oh my God.
Elaborate.
Did I ass out this weekend?
Hey.
There might have been substances involved.
So,
May have.
right. So
Plural
we're
or singular?
Purportedly.
more than one.
Purportedly.
More than one, in theory. Shh, never happened. Go for it.
Only if you share, though.
So,
Mixing.
Only if you share, though.
Absolutely. What wattage do you want?
I want ultra mega hardcore.
Ultra mega hardcore.
If there isn't that button, I don't want it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Brought
Yeah.
to you by
That's what I'm saying.
Pornhub.com.
From the fleshlight.
Like if it doesn't have the faucet button, get out of here.
Just hook it straight into my
No,
veins.
we're going for distance now. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking ancillarily about squirting.
And just get right down to the
I'm gonna
point.
mean it.
Right? I mean,
I like this though. Questions like this, and you could turn it on mothers as well. But like you said, I think in my experience, far more people have issues with their fathers than their mothers.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think we have to have issues with our mothers and fathers in order for us to fledge. I think we just make them bigger than they need to be a lot of
I
times.
think there's some merit to that.
I think they are necessarily big.
I mean, they're as big as you need them to be in order to get away.
That our mothers and fathers make them bigger than they are. When really their children just, hey, like, talk to me.
Right, but look at the situations in your life that you've maybe not shown up in the best possible way. Like you weren't trying to be an asshole. You were, again, doing the best that you could with what you were working with. Like you did not necessarily have the best reflexes. You didn't have a full understanding of what was happening. You were keyed up from a conversation that happened earlier. Your emotions were high. You know, there's actually no actual way that you couldn't have misconstrued that situation based on the input that was at play. And yet you sit here and you give yourself a hard time about it and you feel bad about it and you feel like you have to apologize instead of just saying like, hey man, that wasn't exactly how I wanted to show up. Would you like to start again? Like, can we have an opportunity to try that again? Like I was trying to protect my person and I read that wrong. Would you like to give me an opportunity to do that again?
Sober, this sounds brilliant.
No, I know. But, well, yeah.
Yeah, I want a chance to respond to that because it went back to one of the notes that I had, the protector paradigm. Not only do I have like this deep sense of insecurity about myself, but I have a deep insecurity about like the way I prove my worth, quote unquote, is by doing things for people and knowing what to do when I'm not good at it emotionally, but I'm excellent at it physically. Let me tell you about the time me and my dad kidnapped a full-grown man.
Let me write something down real quick and then yes, please.
Oh my God. Well, this got interesting.
So you know how in your life, you have situations that like you kind of, like you tell stories about them and then like you tell them to somebody and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, what you just said there, yeah, that was kind of my response.
I used to tell this story about, like it was a funny story. It was like a laugh, ha ha, because it happened in high school. I used to tell the story like this one time I had to run down my crackhead fucking uncle because he was smoking crack at my grandma's house. I'm like, I caught him, I'm like, blah, 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 and then bang, we're off. Then after fucking 5 years of therapy, I'm thinking about the story. And I'm replaying it like I did in my high school head. And I go, oh my God, that's kidnapping.
Yeah.
I called my dad and I was like, Dad, do you realize that we kidnapped my uncle? We kidnapped him.
Technically speaking.
Now,
Could that be considered deprogramming?
kinda. But I'm still gonna tell the story because it's fucking
It's
hilarious.
contextual,
With that context.
but important.
So, I'm in junior year of high school.
So
Remind me, were you local?
16,
Tacoma.
17.
I was 16.
Okay.
16.
No, 16.
So let's put
I
a number on
graduated
it.
at 17, so I was junior year 16.
Okay.
I get home, Dad's out working in the yard. He's retired at this point in time, so he's like landscaping. Like that's what kept him happy. Get home and like dressing down from school, set my backpack down, start fucking cue up fucking GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Starting to jam like boom. The phone rings. I got a phone in my room. We have intercoms in the house. Phone rings. Hello? Daryl, put Charles on the phone. It's my grandma.
Uh-oh.
So I go outside. Dad, grandma's on the phone. He's like, okay. He puts all his shit down. Comes back inside. I hear him get on the phone. Mom? And this is as I'm sitting back down to play this level again. Daryl goes, or my dad goes, get the keys to the van. Pull it out.
Okay.
No questions asked. Dad is telling me to do something. Bang! Do it. Got the keys, pulling the van out of the garage. It's a 2-car garage. The steps come down from the right of it. So like you can see from the front door the main door of the garage and the garage door of the garage. Dad hops down the stairs out of the front as I'm pulling the van out with the slider door open. Mind you, this is a 1973 Ford Econoline painted fucking shiny ass blue. It's got captain seats and mini blinds in the back.
Ours was brown. Two-tone brown.
And my dad painted it. My mom fucking it's my dad's van.
Please tell me the band's still in the family.
100%. Beautiful. I told my dad, do not sell this.
That's mine.
That is mine. Do not get rid of this. Anyway,
So
Dad,
A-team style.
what's that?
A-team style. You're in the van.
100%.
Getting ready to go. Locked and
I'm
loaded.
pulling the van out. Dad is coming out of the house. He hits the button. We didn't have one of those safety things. He hits the button for the garage, runs to the garage, grabs his rope.
No,
says,
no duct tape?
Get in the back. So I get in the back. Slider door's open. He hops in the driver's seat, throws the rope in the back, and he goes, shut the slider. Boom. We're on the road. I still have not asked a single fucking question. We get to my grandma's house. As soon as we get to my grandma's house, the way her house is built, she's got the main house. Like, if you're looking at it from the street, she's got the main house on the left. She's got the garage, a separated garage with a gate in front of it. We pull up, Dad, open the gate. Boom, hop out, open the gate. Dad backs in so that the slider door is facing the front door of the house.
He's funneling animals out.
Yo. Now, mind you, my dad was a firefighter for 13 and a half years. I was in first grade when he was basically forced out. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get people out of a fucking building. We don't even knock when we go in. We just open the door. Grandma's in the corner smoking a fucking Virginia Slim.
Vagina slimes.
He's in the bathroom. And it's one of those houses that was built, like, I want to say in the 20s. So it's knob and tube, lath and plaster.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in the bathroom means there's this little hallway that connects the living room to the master bedroom to the bathroom. So it's like a cramped area. The hallway is as big as this space.
Oh, wow.
Like, imagine, like, you're in the bathroom. That goes to, you're in the bathroom. Just down that little hall, bathroom, down this hall, master bedroom, behind me, living room.
Living room.
And it's a superfluous hallway. It doesn't need to be there. Door's locked. Open the door. Open the door. I ain't gonna ask again. And my dad is 5'9", but he's literally built
As wide as he is tall.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen Claudia with a Chance of Meatballs?
So he's my frame. I have. He's my frame, but he's shorter. But he's been a firefighter all of his life. He is built out of broken dreams, steel cable, and PTSD. If that man wants something, he's gonna get it.
He's going to bulldoze into it.
He knocked the last time and Tony went, and my dad leaned back and he kicked this door off the hinges cartoon style. It flew vertical through the bathroom. And I'm just standing there like, oh, shit. What the fuck? Still, no questions.
Mm-hmm. You have no idea what's happening.
Anything. No idea what's happening. I was just like, okay, like, here we are. My dad kicks the door in. My uncle is in the bathtub. He grabs my uncle by the afro and the collar and pulls him out of the bathtub. And he's like kicking and moving around and trying to get squirrely. And the thing about my dad is my dad always taught me, like, do the thing that you can see that needs to be done. So one time we were building a fence. It was like probably a year before at the same house that we were in. We were building a fence. And I was just off getting distracted and whatnot. And my dad was like, I was Johnny on the spot with the ammo, right? I was supposed to be Johnny on the spot with the ammo. And my dad reaches down and he goes, Daryl, I'm out of boards. And I was like, well, you didn't ask for boards. He was like, you see that we're building a fence, right?
Where?
Where are
I'm
the boards?
empty.
I should not have to reach down and go,
Where?
And I was like, okay. So as we're pulling my uncle out of this tub, I go, what's the most effective thing I can do? Grab his legs. Scooped him up. Got him by the knees, started wiggling, choked him up a little bit higher, got him by his hips. We walk my uncle out of the house. We throw him into the van, shut the door, squirt down the street. Now, this is 19th and Hosmer in Tacoma. So we're going to St. Joe's. Mm-hmm. We're taking him to the hospital. So that's 2 turns, right? But there's a stop sign. Well, there's 2 stop signs. First stop sign. Right before we get there, my uncle is like, Daryl, why would you do this to me? You're my nephew. What's happening? And as soon as the van stops,
He's out.
Me and my uncle's eyes hit the door at the same time. I forgot to lock it.
Oh! Damn.
My uncle busts out of this van at crackhead speed. Mind you, I'm young, so I bust out of the van at crackhead speed too. Like about a half a block or so, and I finally catch up to him, and I kick him in the back of his kneecap. So he goes and kind of stumbles, and as he goes down, he kind of hits his head on the pavement a little bit, and I pick him up, and I'm with my foot still on the back of his knee, and he goes, "Dad, I'm your nephew." He passes out, and as he passes out, my dad pulls up in the van, door still open. Squirt! Just he puts the shit in park, grabs his rope, jumps out, hog ties a full-grown man faster than I have ever seen anybody do anything. We pick him up, we throw him into the van. Dad fucking skirches a Yui. We make the next left, and we're at St. Joe's. We pull up to St. Joe's. Dad skirches into the emergency bay, whatever. I'm gonna get the doctor. I'll be right back. Park. Van's still running. Slider door closed. All of a sudden I hear, yeah, he's been smoking crack at my mom's house. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, just look at what we're dealing with here. And then my dad opens this door. My dad opens the door of a 1973 Ford Econoline to a hog-tied full-grown man and a minor. And then the doctor was like,
I have
y'all
questions.
gotta go.
I have questions.
They wouldn't allow.
They couldn't admit him. The doctor was like, we can only take, you can admit people.
Yeah.
But the doctor was like,
You can't do it for him.
he has to show up and say, I need help.
Yeah.
But also the doctor was like, get this situation the fuck out of
Right.
here.
This is technically kidnapping.
Pack your van up
I'm
and
not
get the
going to call
fuck
the
off my
cops.
property.
Leave.
But if you stay, I'll
I
have
am going to
to.
call the cops.
One of them will show up.
What we ended up doing was just going back to my grandma's house and leaving him hogtied in the middle of the living room until he came down.
Oh my goodness.
And then my therapist was like, that's not like a normal story, right?
Yeah. I have a,
That's
I
not a
have
common experience.
a few of those too where I tell the story and at the end of it I go, oh, different crowd.
At the
Okay.
same note,
Hey.
it's normal to all of us though, because like the only experience you have is your own. Like you hear stories, but yeah, when you finally put them into context, sometimes you're like,
Oh, that's not normal.
most normal people don't have to,
Yeah.
chase down their crackhead uncle and hog tie him and throw him in a van in broad daylight.
When I talked to my
downtown.
dad about it, he was like, I said, Dad, we kidnapped my uncle, right?
Which time?
Which time?
Think about with your age. So this is like the early 2000s as well, isn't it?
This was
Wait.
2000. I graduated 03. This was 2002.
Oh, two. Yeah. Like,
Wow.
dude, if a cop had been
I
driving
had
by,
Jinkos and ESs on.
Wow.
The drag coefficient was improbable.
I was already married.
Really?
I was.
2000. Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I got married in 2000.
Sanity.
Okay, so I love the story.
Yeah.
Like back to what you were saying. You said, and if you are able to remember what you said, I'd love to hear it. But you were talking about being a protector means that you earn love. Like you,
That's a good way to put it.
right?
Yeah.
And
That's a better way to put it than how I said it.
and you said it hurts your head, but it makes your body feel good.
I don't remember that. But that's bars.
Not exactly what he said. It was emotionally he doesn't know how to. It's a struggle for him, but physically he's really good at it.
Okay.
He can handle the situation, but like the emotional baggage that comes with being the protector is.
Oh, because that's what it was. Because you said,
Can I tell a story that articulates that?
yeah.
My one ex ago, that we went out on the boat with.
Yeah.
When I took, like the fourth or fifth time that I took her out to my cabin, we were like out on this ridge, and she was like, "You're not scared of heights?" And I was like, "No, I'm fucking terrified of heights. Like, I hate this right now." She was like, "Why didn't you say anything?" I was like, "We can't both be scared." Like,
Yep. Dude.
Like, I know you hate heights. I hate heights too, but I'm not going to sit here and like double down on your fear. And I could have just said like, hey, let's not go over that.
Right.
One of us has to be the man here.
But
It sucks. I recognize what I said. I hate it the way it comes out, but
It's accurate.
the emotion is just like, this is my responsibility as a human being. Like
I have to not be scared right
it's
now.
It's built into me. Like if it was just me, I'm going to shit my pants and freak out.
Yeah.
But if there's somebody else there I have to take care of, Johnny on the spot. I'm going to get it done.
how cool is it though that you recognize that that's an autonomic response you can control?
By the way, it's a great example of me being able to turn off certain emotions. That's exactly it. I don't have the luxury of being afraid right now.
Okay, so, but to go back, so when you said it's hard for my emotions, but it's easy for my body, why do you think that is?
Training. It's reflex.
Okay.
I go later.
Okay. or maybe it's the fact that you are trying to curry favor and value for yourself out of an external thing that you're doing, as opposed to just recognizing that you deserve that validation just because of who you are and what you do.
So
you being a protector doesn't add extra value. You are already an awesome human who deserves that outside of you being a protector, and that's just icing on the cake.
I feel like curry favor was the.
It was the close that it was the closest thing that I had, but it's your way of bartering value for service.
And that's why it kind of goes with insecurity, because like I don't feel like I have enough to offer.
But
so what I can offer is my knowing how to handle a crisis.
So
Quote unquote knowing.
If you learn how to find your own intrinsic value, this doesn't matter anymore because you don't have to do it.
But it's always going to matter to protect your people.
I mean, it matters to protect your people, but it isn't right. It isn't something that you need in order to feel validated as a human.
The switch is too sensitive. The trigger's too quick.
Yeah, you're a hair trigger.
I don't necessarily know when I'm protecting and when I'm just being an asshole.
Strange me either.
Go on.
As it turns out.
Elaborate.
Oh, I can't think of one, but I'm sure he can.
Oh boy, there's yeah.
Ooh, what does this story evoke in you?
No, it's funny. When you and I met, you had a big fat chip on your shoulder.
Oh, so big.
And I'm not going to say that I was a gentleman or perfect by any means either, but like, yeah, you took umbrage very rapidly, and it was very much a
umbrage with what?
With like, for instance, somebody implying that you were a liar or that you didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh yeah,
dude, this girl turned into a fucking line worker in middle America like in 3 seconds. Just like the body language became very masculine and like, dude.
So the way that I describe it now in my head is when I throw my hockey gloves down. When I go shorzy, exactly. I'm like, all right, let's go.
We're going to fucking fight now.
Right.
Are we fucking or fighting?
Right.
Let's go.
Fill him up.
It applies to
or
so
run him
many
up,
things.
fill him in.
It's brilliant. It's interesting. So I work with this energy worker, hippie dippy energy worker. Episode 1, go check him out, Eric. He's rad. But one of the concepts that he, like when I suddenly killed the switch to turn off all these emotions, and now I'm feeling them all the time, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. And I wasn't self-regulating in our relationship well. And he was like, look, dude, if you've ever got negative energy with your woman, you're fucking or you're fighting. He's like, there's only one place in your home for that kind of energy. It's in the bedroom. Go sort that stuff out.
Yep.
But it's like, you never shit in your living room. Like, that's fucking or fighting. It's
oh my God, it's such a beautiful, it applies to so many things.
Right. Living with Louis Dog's the only way to stay sane.
And, you know, I heard it, but I didn't hear it.
That was a Sublime. Fucking and fighting, it's all the same. Living with Louis Dog's the only way to stay sane.
Sublime is just heroin smash mouth.
I know. But it still was relevant.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just heroin smash mouth.
Oh my God, that is the best description. Like,
I can't take credit for that.
I love Sublime.
I can't take credit for that.
Bravo,
Nice.
wherever you are, sir.
Good job.
Damn.
But I sometimes it's hard to gauge when your partner or somebody is like, there's a sweet spot for, hey, let's go talk about this. And once you're past the sweet spot, it's like it goes down where it goes down. I'm not good at gauging the sweet spot.
There's no sweet spot.
That's why you got to figure out if you're fucking fighting.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it is.
But you're right.
I mean,
there is no sweet spot.
there's no algorithm to follow. Like, it's really just hit or miss. You just like, you can set yourself up for success in different ways, and you can set yourself up for failure in different ways, but it's totally crapshoot.
I know. Let me write it down. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say I had an interesting thought and theory about the interaction that you had with your partner and this dude in your house.
Yeah.
In our relationship, we, for a while, had jealousy, integrity, that kind of grief and stuff going on. And she'd get hot at, a woman paying too much attention to me or vice versa.
Or is?
Not at all anymore. Is for sure. I see what you did there.
There you go. Woo! Is no.
She changed the script up on that, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 years ago, where she just started to like, if she felt like a woman was paying too much attention to me, like she'd play into it. She'd be like, oh, he's fucking cute, isn't he? Like, it takes all the wind out of the sails and all the fight. Like when some dude's paying too much attention to her, it's like, fucking buy her drinks, dude. Like, I get it. Like, I chased her down too. Like, you can't not look at that, be impressed. Like, I get it. I understand. And as long as, it's respectful within a realm. Like, yeah, if somebody's aggressively trying to rip somebody's clothes off or something, like, yeah, okay, we're going to have a discussion now. But,
I mean, you're not going to get anywhere close before I give somebody what for. If somebody's trying to take my clothes off without my permission, that shit's not happening.
it's going to be a problem.
Or at least I'm going down swinging.
I'm so happy these are great. Me and Sam might switch to these. This is fantastic.
The AED roadmap?
Yeah. So I'm going to get to this one, but I want to tell a story about this one.
Can I pause you right there? I want you to cue that story up. I want you to hit the record button.
Me and my ex, my current ex, God damn it. How many times do I have to say that?
Right.
Fucking A.
N minus what?
Yeah, N minus what? It's a non-zero number.
There you go. Okay.
One of the things I loved about her the most is like, you guys have seen me butterfly. Mm-hmm. Me and this girl were exponential butterflyers.
Fire.
We went to, my buddy had this, it was for his birthday. He called it John Prom. And it was basically like a prom for like his birthday at this place. And
I love that idea.
it's like the classies.
It's beautiful.
It's like I was hitting my boogie, I was like dancing to people, and like some ladies were dancing, some dudes were dancing, and I danced on this one chick, and she goes like, "Oh no, my husband is right there." I was like, "Where's he at?" And she pointed at her husband, and I want to start dancing on her husband. And her husband was into it. And then finally, I was like, as a habitual hand in the cookie jar, I'm gonna see what I can do. So I bent this man over. I grabbed him by his hair. I pulled him up and I said, "You'll dance when daddy tells you to."
Oh.
And he was like,
Interesting.
10 minutes later, he comes back and he's like, "I just need you to know I'm in a monogamous relationship."
Oh, he was feeling it.
And he kept doing it all night long. And then I go back to the table where my brother and his friends were at. And my brother's friend was like, "Every time that guy comes up to you, that girl gets more mad."
What an interesting, number one, that is such an anxiety-inducing thought to me. Not because like I think it's cute and funny and cool. I think it's rad that the guy played cool, but like in my
mind you, the way it like I bent him over, grabbed his hair, pulled him up, whispered in his ear.
No, this is what I'm talking about. Like the number of like maybe it was the crowd I hung out with when I was drinking and being wild, but it's like a fight was going to ensue. Like no questions asked.
Daddy don't fight.
Daddy would have needed to defend himself at some of the bars I went to.
And so what makes this better is the night kind of went on and my partner was talking to him a little bit. And at one point in time, my partner's outside. The dude's wife is outside. The dude is like on his way outside. And my partner's like looking at this thing in the street light. And this chick comes outside and goes, "Why do you have my husband's passport?" We are terrorists.
There you go.
I didn't know why she had his passport either.
She's just doing what she does, whatever.
It's one of those energies where it's just like,
Force multiplier.
I love that term.
We just recently stumbled across it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. Like my dad used to say. One time, I was getting bullied in like 3rd or 4th grade. And I was telling my dad, as he was taking me home in that same fucking van, I was like, I'm getting bullied by this kid. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, I know I can't hit him because I'll like school's gonna fucking suck. Like, I might get kicked out. And Dad goes, "Look here. It takes a lot of man to stand up to a brick."
Damn.
And I was like, yeah.
It's a really powerful, because it's interesting.
Why would you fight? I'm not gonna fight you.
Dude, that's the thing though. Like,
I'll be the bitch all day. Next thing you know.
I was raised very differently. My dad's thing was, if there's going to be a fight and there's going to be a fight, you start it and you finish it. It's better to cool your jets in a jail cell than the hospital.
That's the brick.
Right.
That's the brick.
Man, it didn't.
It's the same thing.
It's interesting the way you say it. Because like to me, because I got bullied mercilessly, dude. And my dad, my brother, all the men in my life at that time were like, just like, grab that kid, bounce his head off the sidewalk, kick him in the ribs a few times, like show him what's what. And like,
are we fucking or fighting?
Yeah, dude.
I don't fight.
And that's the thing. And I think that was the problem. And
Yeah.
I got stressed out so much because I was viewed as effeminate because I was raised by my sisters and my mom mostly. But when that switch snapped, I turned into a fucking uncontrollable psychopath. And yeah, like I don't ever want to fight ever, ever, ever.
If I'm going to fight, it's not a fight.
Yeah, like, by the way.
And that's not like a big braggadocio
No,
thing.
it's just
because I'm tiny.
I'm scared now, and now I have to defend myself, and I'm going to have to hurt you in the process of that.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you think your partner takes that?
I'm gonna have to,
When you're out of control?
Oh, I think it's a really bad look. Really bad look. And on top of that, I remember my father, like, still alive, still with us, awesome guy. He was the biggest sweetheart, but like you said, he had that salt and pepper emotional palate. And when he got into the anger side,
I like that term.
Right.
salt and pepper. Yeah. That's the full spectrum.
The fresh crack.
That's what you got.
When he would lose his mind, it was fucking terrifying. Like everything in the room stopped. He had that cop police just like take control, terrify everyone. And it was so emotionally overwhelming as a young person. It was wonderful to feel protected by that person, having that guy on your side, like, I'm going to be okay.
But all of a sudden you go, whoa.
It's so fucking terrifying. Whoa. Yeah, no, it's like violence incarnate. You just watch it come into existence and run. You're like, oh my God, like I'm afraid for everyone around us now, myself included.
Is it like Jekyll and Hyde?
Yeah.
Okay. I ask because I come from
your
a very
family's got a lot of it.
Well, yes, 100%. Like all of the kids in my family, including myself, have that weird red moment where it gets scary. But when it comes to like growing up with a dad, I just didn't have one. So like you guys talk about these moments where you have somebody guiding you and I didn't necessarily have that. So the absence of that, for those who don't know, like my dad and mom, they divorced when I was very young, and he went off and made a different life and didn't come back into my life until I was about 38. And I knew him for a few years before he passed from very aggressive cancer. So I had probably, I don't know, 5 years with him.
4 or 5 years. Yeah.
But still had a pretty solid chip on my shoulder. But like,
So can I ask,
yeah, of course.
like, because like the conversation we had before, how was your relationship with your father?
Absent. Just gone.
Still?
Well, he passed away and
Well, no, so not like absent gone. I mean, like your relationship now with the idea of your father.
oh, it's much better. Yeah. So I am okay calling him my dad and whatnot, but I mourn the opportunity to have known him better because I held him at a distance because of my own stories and what kept me from being able to be open.
And your relationship, you know, kind of to your point, there was before you had met your father. I remember there was a time where I was kind of pushing you. We had found out of his existence and whatnot, and that he was interested in meeting you again. And there was a couple of years where I was pushing it, and she was just like, "No, absolutely not. Like, fuck that guy." Like, he walked away. Like, and it was really neat to watch her have the opportunity to like kind of heal some of that up. And you got to know your dad. Like, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny because at a certain point, you know, after going through all of the therapy and all of the things, I thought I had short circuited the system by being like, yeah, I can't have daddy issues because I didn't have a dad. And come to find out,
Joke's on you, kid.
Whether you like it or not, you have a relationship with your father.
Still
That's how you feel
daddy
about it right now.
issues.
That's important.
weird. So back to my point about how it's pretty hard not to.
Kind of on that same note, this was probably 5 years ago. My dad calls me. And he's like, so we did 23andMe, him and his brothers and sisters. And he goes, Charles Wright Sr. is not my dad.
Yep.
Oops. What?
Oopsie doopie.
And so, long story short, I ended up taking my dad down to Atlanta to like meet his family. And I got to see my dad for the first time have a relationship with his dad.
Oh, that's cool.
That, like, even though his dad was dead, like we saw his grave and I got to see my dad establish the relationship.
Yeah.
And like, look at his cousins. His sisters didn't want to meet him, which is heartbreaking. Absolutely fucking heartbreaking, but it is what it is. I got to see him meet a part of his family that he didn't know existed until he was 68 years old.
Yeah. Which is so funny, the parallel stories, because so my mom was the product of something similar.
Yeah.
And we have a whole side of the family that doesn't know that we exist. So this guy met my grandmother and didn't know that she was pregnant when she bounced and went back to her husband. And so, like, we have a whole side of the family that doesn't know that we're here. But 23andMe and all of those, like, all of a sudden,
together.
it does. And it's kind of cool. Like, it kind of forces the hand to say, like, hey, we're not going to live in the shadows anymore. Like,
It does force the hand. I remember when my dad called me, my dad called me, then I did a 23andMe, and then I called my mom because my granddad, and I'll call him out his name, Dr. Leroy Annis, he's dead now. He was a professor of literature at UPS, used to take his students on hiking trips and dick them down. It was well known throughout the
So
family.
your suave nature is inherited.
No, I called my mom and I said, Grandma on dad's side was a hoe. Granddad on your side was a hoe. I was like, Mom, I have hoe in my blood. How can I even fight this?
It's in my DNA.
What do I do? It goes ATCG, ATCG, HOE, ATCG.
ho, 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 ho.
Oh,
Yeah, we got a lot of hoe in our family, too.
100%.
Both married and,
it's good stuff, though. You know.
I
Ain't
mean,
nothing wrong with being a hoe. You just got to be...
you got to own your hoe.
One of my friends said this one time, and it changed the way I looked at
Hose.
relationship. Because I was a player at the time, And one of my friends, I had just met him for the second time, and he was like, if you got 2 girlfriends and they don't know about each other, you're just a 2-timing son of a bitch. And I heard it from he wasn't saying it to me. He was saying it in the other room, and I went, oh, I'm a 2-timing son of a bitch. Holy shit.
Yep.
I need to stop hurting people.
Well, that's the crazy thing. Let me ask you a question there.
Yeah.
Up until that point, when you had that epiphany, had it even crossed your mind that you were hurting anybody?
Yes, but I am very out of sight, out of mind.
I can get down
And
with that.
it's a I do not like relying on
Area codes?
conditions on
I read about this in a blog post once.
I don't like relying on diagnoses as like, oh, this is the reason why I did it. My out of sight, out of mind is every girl that I was dating at any given point in time, I loved them in that moment when I was with them. And when I wasn't around them, I love them in that moment
person.
when I'm in. And it's so fucking problematic. Like so I'm bipolar type 2, extremely ADHD, and I'm pretty sure I have a twinge of the tism. I've only been diagnosed with the first 2 though. And my symptoms aren't getting better as I get older. And I'm so sad that I didn't get like diagnosed sooner in my life, because I'm starting to get the stack trace for every single fucking situation that I've been in.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, boom, 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 boom. Here's your error.
Yeah. And where's the source?
What's the fucking source?
Right here.
Yeah. Like, I'm the common denominator in all my fucking problems. But at the same time, like, I have these other variables that I was being told. Like, I've been told I'm not normal my whole fucking life.
According to
I'm
who?
trying to be fucking normal. And it's like, why don't you understand this as my partner, that I need to go through these things?
Because you don't have to be normal. There is no normal. There's no such thing as normal.
I know, but I've been aggressively told that I'm not.
And those people are wrong.
And that's why I go
Right?
back to this note.
Which one?
Teach me how to be your partner.
I love that. That's something.
Aggressively
So
teach me how to be your partner.
hold on though, because this man has figured it out in spades. He is capitalized, hands
saw the
down. That guy. Oh yeah. So how did you do
was
it?
beautiful.
How did I teach you how to be a good partner? How did you learn?
When I was a hoe, a big fat hoe.
I mean, you were different levels of skinny.
Yeah.
You were lean at
more
different
stories?
times.
Sometimes, yes,
You
I would.
weren't always fat. You were always a hoe.
It's in my blood. Like you, I was always, super in love in the moment. It was very genuine. It was very real. I didn't feed anybody a line of shit to get what I wanted in that moment. Yeah, I wanted that, and I wanted to be there with them. But when I did become aware, when we had some talks about being real honest about our pasts, having to, for the first time, I was such a good liar too. I covered my tracks so well. I never had to face off with the pain I created, ever. I never got caught. I was so confident I wouldn't get caught. So
The fact that you are asking me, am I cheating on you, means I am not cheating on you. Because if I was cheating on you, you wouldn't fucking know.
Yeah, exactly.
And by virtue of the fact that I'm asking as somebody who doesn't have a neurosis about it, that means that you're creating a situation where I have questions. And if I have questions, you need to shore those up.
And on top of that, as a 25-year-old, if you tell me you think I'm cheating on you, well, fuck, I may as well and go and do it then. Like,
Right. Might as well earn it.
But
It's a very mature response.
seeing the pain,
100%. Take them down.
Yeah.
let's go on a hike.
I'm a professor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So seeing the
With
pain,
a beard like mine.
facing off with the pain was a huge thing. But then
Yeah.
in the process of trying to recreate that relationship, really, like you said, aggressively, like starting to just the simple questions, like, starting to tune into like what pleases you, what displeases you. What can I do to make your life easier? Like by virtue of me wanting to be with you, I want to make your life and your experience better. Like what are the things I can take off your plate, you know, to help you out, to make you feel better?
That's still protector. What are the things I can take off your plate?
It is to some extent protector. But if you're anything like me,
You know what you haven't said?
What's that?
What do you need?
Interesting.
Tell me what you need.
I have asked that question of her.
In some, but I'm just talking about this specific conversation.
Yeah.
And the wording of it. I don't mean to be pedantic, but
Or
no, it's a good
even
point.
better, tell me what you want. Because want and need are two very different things.
They're both valid.
They are.
Want is, I agree with that.
So here's the nuance that I think is important. We're all very good at need. Like that is a base instinct. Want is a lot of times equated with luxury.
You don't have to have it.
So we deny ourselves even the ability to identify our wants because we're too afraid to have somebody deny those wants. So I love that you bring this up because it's a partnership. It's always a partnership. So when you ask me what I want or what I need, then I have to show up to that partnership with enough intelligent understanding of what it is that I do want and what I do need. And a lot of us are very, very, that muscle is atrophied.
Poor at that.
So, and it's not that people are bad at it. It's that we don't exercise that muscle.
I think a lot of people don't have that luxury. So many people are in crisis mode their whole life.
Well, I mean, we
trying
can
to
have a
get by.
conversation about survival mode versus thriving. Like that's the whole point of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to help people move from a state of survival mode into a state of thriving and realizing what that means and what it looks like and being able to like.
Thriving is a horizon.
No, thriving is a now.
It's a horizon.
No. You can thrive right now.
You can thrive right now, but once you thrive right now, you're going to look for the next thrive.
Not necessarily. If you're willing to be in the present moment, you can appreciate the thrive and not worry about what happens next.
Oh, this is going to be a whole nother podcast.
By the way, the presence piece is so
I don't disagree
big.
with you.
Well, I mean,
I don't want-
you
I'm-
can or not. I don't
I
care.
don't disagree with I'm poking at it.
Sure,
You know
put a
what I mean?
pin in it.
No.
I saw that word you wrote down.
I feel like we're gonna have to like start to come up with like a regular conversation.
Oh,
between
I
us,
would
'cause, like, this is fucking
love it.
brilliant.
Love it. Love it.
Oh God, what was it? Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
These things happen.
It's fine.
These things, yeah, whatever.
Choo choo, gone.
Right? So in order for me to be a good partner, I have to do the work to figure out, which is what we're really indexing on
Here's my big trick.
in the coaching business, by the way.
Biggest or big trick? Ho.
Yeah. Turning them, baby. This is going to sound so corny, but it changed my relationship first with Sarah and really has started like watching your dad. Like it's going out through my ecosystem now. I look at everyone, starting with her, as my first priority, as my best friend. So let me paint a picture for you. Daryl, you and I have known each other for 20 years. We've lived together. We're best friends. We go out to a bar one night. We're both hoes. You're hitting it off with some girl. Like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm running support. I'm cheering you on. I'm excited. Like,
You're a wingman.
And I'm
The best wingman.
and I'm genuinely invested in making sure that tonight happens the way you want it to happen. I've just turned that on my wife. I've made my wife my best friend. So let's say, I don't know, she wants to do something fucking crazy. Like Sarah's decided she wants to buy a yacht. Like, hey baby, we don't have yacht money right now. Like, I don't
Bitch,
know.
we gonna get a yacht.
But again,
Oh, yeah.
but that's it.
Yeah.
It's exactly it. She's my best friend. Like, you want to get a yacht? Like, fuck yeah. Like, let's,
And
like,
I didn't mean
let-
bitch derogatorily.
I didn't either.
like, let's figure it out. Like, that's what you want to do. And like, and whatever crazy thing it is, like, be their biggest cheerleader, their best friend, like support them through like, and like I said, even if it's something stupid and crazy, like, you know, I need to get in a gangbang with clowns. I don't know, like whatever your craziest thing is.
Why does it always go back to clowns?
What does your Reddit look like?
Don't ask.
Let me see your Reddit.
Wait.
Let me see your Reddit.
Are you talking about his dark Reddit or his light Reddit?
Yes.
You
separate them?
Some of my internet
They're
personality
not
is
clothes,
separated.
they're people.
I hate the fact that unfortunately I was trying to come up with something just outlandish, and
That's where it
with
went.
Clowns is where it decided to go.
You know what? Well, yeah, just roll with it.
Just go.
So like the teach me how to be your partner thing like goes into something that I've dealt with recently where like I've been me for 39 years now.
All your life, as it turns
All
out.
my life, right? I have some shit that is ingrained. I'm very bad at getting out of my hyper focus. If you need something from me, you can't just ask me once.
Yeah.
Well, if you say so, then it's true.
You can't pass a law and just expect people's minds to change.
No, but if you say so, it's true.
What do you mean?
Whatever you speak into existence is truth.
Universal energy.
So you
We'll get
just
real hippie on
you just said we can't expect you to.
By virtue, you said I'm bad at this. You are reinforcing.
You're creating it.
You are in fact. So if you started to change your internal monologue and started every time you just say,
Okay, so hold on. I have changed my internal monologue about this. And the problem is that when I get into relationships, I say, hey, I'm trying to be better about this thing. I'm telling myself to be better about this thing. But I know myself. I've been myself for 39 years. And I know that I'm going to fail. And I need you to get me back on track. I need you to be an advocate for my brain because I trust you.
yes,
I love you and I trust you.
Which is
so
beautiful.
If you say, I need this thing, and I start to vary off, say it again.
yes.
Say it to my face and say it with your chest.
That's ADD
And then say it
at its
again.
finest.
And then keep saying it until you're fucking tired, until I have the pattern where it feels weird to not do it.
So you're wanting someone else to set your muscle memory.
Because if I have to do it on my own, it's going to take forever.
You know that forever is okay, right?
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
I'm still losing people that I love.
On the same note, you dealt with this a lot. I'm very similar. Like
Yeah.
the number of times, like I've asked like 3 times. I'm like, I vaguely recall you mentioned it once, and like in
I
that
call it
moment,
file.
yeah.
I don't have all the details right now, but keep going and bang, now I know everything.
Yeah. It's part of like, you know, again, I hate to subscribe it to some like diagnosis, but it is like the ADHD brain.
I don't like to do that either, but exactly.
But it's a real fucking struggle. But again, that's a beautiful thing of like, you know, show me how to love you. Like, hey, I have this thing I'm working on and I would love your support.
I need
In
a
it.
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
a love
I love
coach.
you and I want to love you, but I know that I'm going to let you down in these ways because I've continuously let myself down in these ways, and I've been trying to get better, and I'm consistently getting better. I'm doing my fucking best. I'm doing my absolute best.
You're
It
loving
is
this.
not as bad as it was before. However, I know that this is still going to be a problem, so I need a coach. Teach me how to ski.
So you're improving, you're on the right road,
Yeah.
and you're just looking for that consistent guidance.
And I'm going to do the same for you.
Yep.
If I see your faults, if I see what you consider your faults, and I can notice the flags, I can notice your body language, the way you talk, the way you move.
You're like, hey, buddy,
Hey, I'm seeing it. Like, hey,
you want to do that?
yeah, you sure? Like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do the thing that I'm asking of you.
Yep.
I'm not going to leave you hanging.
He loves it when I do that to him.
But it's part of the relationship dynamic
Sorry,
too.
I was also getting excited just now.
It's people I think have this weird preconceived notion that relationships are going to be all brilliant, happy, fun times, and that's the reality of it. That, by the way, that's the hoe. When shit gets weird, you just bounce and you go find something new. And when that gets weird, you bounce and you find something new.
Yeah.
But when you make that decision to make that commitment, you have to like get down with like, hey, I love you.
You have to be
All your
willing.
idiosyncrasies, all your shit.
You have
and
to
we
be
will-
willing to be seen.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to be seen, and that's the hardest
Is
part.
it that ugly word that I hate with
It is.
masculinity?
It
Vulnerability?
is. Yeah. But legitimately, like, in order to
vulnerable, bro.
be in that type of relationship with somebody, like, if you want to see they're ugly, you have to be willing to show you're ugly, right? And we're all nervous about showing our ugly because we think it makes us unlovable.
Well, we're hoes, so we're real good at showing our ugly.
Right. So you guys just show your like best facets of yourself, and the second that it gets ugly, you bounce so that you don't have to like speak to being an asshole.
No, I've started it again. There's a lot.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like
Generalization.
20s,
Gotcha,
20s
gotcha.
level,
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you were out kidding
back
around.
then it was well, no, even then it was.
It wasn't bad.
Bounce, but it was bounce
you were
around.
you were the fun guy, right? Like I call him everybody's favorite squeaky toy. Somebody gets a hold of him and they want to like put him in their mouth and squeak him around a little bit and then have a good time.
How did I miss that part?
People
of the
were
equation?
so used to me being the shiny, happy person that when
They can't take it
I
when you're
started
not.
confronting my shit and being like, I'm not okay.
You had an
They're
identity
like, you're not the
crisis.
same anymore.
You're like, yeah, I'm growing.
It's like, yeah, I know. I'm out of my mind right now. Like, the fact that you're like, you're different. You've changed. You haven't. That's a problem.
It's really hard. That's probably, I would say that's been the hardest lesson in my adult life is recognizing that some relationships are for a season.
Yeah.
I'm everybody's best friend and I love everybody so fucking deeply. Even if you've done me wrong, I love you. But at some point, I have aspirations and places I want to go. And I know that this type of behavior is not going to allow me entrance into that place.
If you call me a bad communicator and I've never heard you once talk about how you communicate or the way that you think about the way that you think, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't call me a bad communicator and have never once considered what you're communicating or how you think.
Or how our communication styles differ.
Yeah. Are you effective? Is what you said to me effective? Did you get to me? Because I've been establishing multiple ways. Like, I've tried this way. I've tried this way. I've tried this way. Oh, ineffective. Effective. Boom. Found it.
Right. Okay. But
winning
we were talking
equation.
about this earlier because the way that if we have a miscommunication, if he and I can't like get the neurons to hook together, one of the and it works most of the time. One of the ways that we figure it out is I just keep trying to make analogies until
I love analogies.
right. And it works.
good.
But if I can't find the right analogy after like 5 tries, he gets super frustrated. And I understand why, because like we're not meshing. When do you cut your losses at that point? When do you go, okay, I need to take a break and like regroup and think through my thoughts. This is not related to dads at all, by the way. Sorry, this is just
This subject.
But that's like the fucking eternal question, because the question, are you effective, doesn't have to be, no, I need to change. Sometimes the answer is no, and I tried everything I had.
yeah, that's a good point.
Like sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
I can't.
The
be
answer is
effective
still
here.
no.
The answer is still no.
And no is a complete sentence.
No shit.
Sentence got longer. Sherlock.
But no is still a complete sentence.
Well, we should probably go deal with some food stuff. But we're going to have to do a bunch of this because
Oh, we got to keep doing this. This is
this
fantastic.
is ridiculous. And by the way, like this is really something, this episode is something I wanted to explore. More often than not, we come in with like a specific subject and we try to stay on that. And I really enjoy more of this like free-form fluid, like having lunch with your friend. Like let's just sit and like, maybe we'll throw a topic out there to like kind of spin us off into space, but you know, just
I like the topic, zing, topic,
Right.
zing. Oh, fucking pin, zing.
Yeah.
Can we just call it
Connect-
shooting the shit?
I think some kind of like rebranding spinoff I think would be fucking
Right.
groovy. I'd love it. So
ZenMeathead shoot to shit.
ZenMeathead shoots the shit. We might have to rebrand though. I don't know.
Well, if this man has taught us anything, it's that you keep the branding and then spin off
and
in
then we
different
add some,
directions.
yeah. We add the shit to it because that's a complete sentence.
There you go.
So
It is actually. It is a verb and a noun.
a noun. So it works. Period.
How's your relationship with your father? Herewith.
Herewith.
Sounds like what too.
And here we are again. And on that note, folks, thank you. Stay elevated.
Love you all a long time.
Bye.